Hi, I'm Dr. Cass Smith from Private Practice Ninja, and today I want to ask you the question, is now the right time for you to build an online course? I'm recording this during the coronavirus pandemic, and I'm sure, like for me, you found yourself in a very, very different situation. No doubt you're jumping on Zoom calls with patients, and you might find your income has gone crashing down, and it's making you reflect and think about ways that you make money in your private practice, and could now be the right time to introduce a new form of revenue stream. You may be thinking, should I do something pretty radical? Should I make something and sell it? Well, I'm not talking about writing a book, which is actually not a great way to make an income. What I'm talking about is asking yourself, should you be producing an online course? So when it comes to patients and potential referrers who are looking at online courses, they're looking for someone to help them solve a problem. Now, think of the last time you took an online course. Maybe it was something compulsory. Perhaps you had to do some fire safety training or some diversity training. And so that might not have been something you did out of choice. So think to a time when you did buy an online course out of choice. What was it that attracted you to it? Did you complete it? Was it easy? Was it what you thought it was going to be when you signed up? And these are all things that you need to consider if you're dabbling in the idea of building a course. In order for a course to be successful, it either needs to teach a skill or fill a hole where there's a problem. There's no point building a glorious course on all the different kinds of shoulder injuries if it doesn't lead to a transformation for the person who's going through the course. So here are some key things to think about if you're considering starting course writing. The first is to put aside any ideas that you shouldn't write a course because it's all been done before. Here's the big news. Most ideas from mankind aren't original, and it's how you impart and deliver the information that gives it impact. Patients and potential referrers want to hear it your way. Don't quite believe me? Think back to when you were in school. Maths is maths, right? But I bet you had one teacher who was great and another teacher who put you to sleep. So number one, write a course that teaches one skill or solves one problem. The person who's following the course needs to go through a transformation and be changed and have achieved something at the end of it. So rather than writing a ginormous course about running injuries, think about how you could teach runners to improve their gait so that they ran faster and knocked several minutes off their marathon time. Number two, be very clear on who the course is for. Is this a course for mums with rectus diastasis problems, or is it a course for people who've got pelvic incontinence? Don't make it a try and let's do this for everybody type course, it won't work. Number three, make sure that there really is a demand for your course. A dermatology update for GPs sounds good, but actually isn't really very compelling, apart from somebody who might be slightly interested in dermatology and needs to get a few CPD points behind them. People don't think about their learning these ways, and they're less likely to spend money on that kind of course. So instead, what kind of transformation could you go for? And are there people searching for that transformation? So for example, a start to finish 6 months ACL rehab for people who aren't going through surgery and you're a runner. How do you know that your amazing course has really got the demand behind it? Well, put that into Google. Open up Google, type in ACL rehab courses for runners and see whether they pop up. If there's lots in search there, it's a good thing to go for. If nobody's searching for it, run in the other direction. Number four, set specific and attractive learning outcomes. It's far better to be able to show the person who's following the course what they'll be able to achieve so that they know that they've achieved it when they've got there. So for example, if you're maybe writing a course for postnatal mums, you could say, this is a course that will take you safely back to running 6 weeks after you've been breeding. Number five, test out your course. You don't want to put all that effort into it if nobody's going to buy it. So why not make a little mini version of the course, a little taster that you can then get some feedback from people about, or better still, a mini course that you can sell for a low ticket price. So for example, it might be that in your running course, you're talking about running style and learning how to increase your cadence and pick your hip up and improve your heel pickup, blah, 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 blah. And it might be that you send people out a little email sort of sequence in a mini course that you have little videos in. Now, The feedback you get is really important, but also what you want to know is whether people watched it. So if you make little videos and you put them in Vimeo, you'll see how many video view counts you had. So it's very important to get honest feedback from people, and they'll give you tweaks and ideas about what they found useful and what you can leave out. Then you can build out your course properly. But wait a minute, how do I know if this is the right time to produce an online course? The biggest reason you should not produce an online course is if you don't have an audience to sell it to. Let's face it, we all think of people we know it would be useful for, but the reality is that most people won't buy from you if you put it in front of them. And here's the frightening statistic, although very encouraging if you have a big audience, is that about 1 to 2% of people in your audience will buy your course. So if you've only got 20 people on your email list, it's really unlikely anyone's going to sign up for it. So it's far better to start planning your course and use now to grow your audience. So if you need help in course planning or planning how you're going to grow your audience, get in touch. I'm at CSS at Private Practice Ninja, and I'll see you next time.